Welcome to the Actually I Can Female Entrepreneur podcast. I am your host, Kayleigh Greenacre, a business strategist, coach, TEDx speaker, author, and your go-to woman for all things business strategy. I am obsessed with supporting female entrepreneurs to grow unstoppable six and multi-six-figure businesses that they love, giving them the freedom and life that they desire. During this podcast, I'll be sharing with you everything that you need to become a successful female entrepreneur, from the mindset shifts to sales and marketing strategies, and how to become an iconic leader that people can't get enough of. It is my mission to help you stand out, attract your dream clients and customers, and sell out of your offers with ease whilst building the business and life of your dreams. Let's make this your reality, ladies. Hello, ladies, and welcome to another episode of Actually I Can, the Female Entrepreneur podcast. And this week, I am doing a solo episode where I am going to discuss the 3 things that actually make sales. Now, today's episode is for the female entrepreneur who's been showing up consistently, doing the work, who knows their offer is powerful, but is still not seeing the kind of sales that she knows she should be landing by now. And if that's you, first of all, I just want to say, I get it. I've had so many conversations with women recently in the DMs who are reaching out to find out how they can work with me, but they're all saying the same thing, that they're doing everything they're supposed to or that they feel they should be doing, but they're still not getting the results that they want. And I get it. I understand. I even remember that exact feeling, working really hard behind the scenes, posting daily, sharing content, launching new things, and still wondering, what am I missing or why is it not working for me? So here's what I want to make really, really clear in today's episode. Sales will come from how you're positioned. They will come from how clearly your messaging activates your audience, and they will come with how you hold your presence in the online space. And when you dial into those 3 things that we're going to talk about in more depth today in this episode, that is when the sales will start to feel more natural, they will start to flow, and you will no longer feel like you're consistently chasing the next sale. So in this episode, I am going to be breaking down those 3 things of how to actually create sales consistently. So let's start with positioning as an iconic leader. Because if your content's not converting right now, if people are still watching, but they're just not buying from you, this is likely where your gap is in your strategy. Now, when I say positioning, I'm not talking about your niche. I'm not even talking about what's written in your bio. I'm talking about how you're perceived in the online space, who you're showing up as. Because you can have the most transformational offer in the world, but if you're not positioned as the iconic leader, and I mean a real iconic decision-making, identity-shaping leader, your audience won't move and they won't buy from you. They might nod, they might like your content, they might even save your post, but they won't buy. And because you're not holding the energy of the women that they want to follow. So being positioned as an iconic leader is not about being the loudest. It's not even about being perfect. It's not about being everywhere, in fact, either. It's actually about being really, really clear, really anchored, and the most convicted version of yourself. So it's about owning your space in the online space in a way that makes your audience say, she's not like others. She leads differently. She moves differently. And I trust that she can help me get the results. And this is the energy that shifted everything for me. When I decided that I was literally no longer available to blend in, that I didn't want to be just another coach in the online space, when I stopped posting like everyone else was posting, and I actually started leading with my own voice, with what I wanted to say. I started to lead more boldly and with more confidence. That is when I started to notice that more inquiries were coming in the DMs, that people started reaching out, wanting to work with me, that people started to want to buy. And it happened quite quickly. As soon as I made that shift in my positioning, as soon as I showed up as an iconic leader in the industry. And that's the iconic positioning. It's not about you just being another coach. And it's, you definitely don't want to just be really, really helpful to someone. You want to be the one, the authority, the leader that people want to buy from. Now, currently inside my 2 signature programs, both Unstoppable and Iconic, the Mastermind, this is actually one of the first things that we work on, because when you're positioning is you as an iconic leader, people will start to notice you. You will stand out. People will see your superpowers and they will then start to want to find out more about you and ultimately how you can support them in getting the results that they want. So it's a really, really important thing to focus on, your positioning as an iconic leader. Now let's move on to the second thing, which is all to do with your messaging. Because if your positioning is how your audience perceive you, then your messaging is how they actually connect with you. And honestly, this is where I see so many women, incredible women, so many women I connect with in the online space, they get stuck with this, the messaging. You know, if you've built something that's really, really amazing, so an amazing offer that you really truly believe in, you've got that offer, you know it works, but for some reason, when you post about it, people aren't buying. They might even be saying, oh, this looks amazing, but they're not actually buying from you. Nothing is converting. That's usually a messaging problem. Because most women are writing content that's helpful, but it's not actually activating their audience to take action, to move, and then to buy. You know, it's giving value, but it's not making the dream client feel like she sees me, she gets me, she's the one I need. It's informative, but it's not a mirror. And that's what makes messaging convert. When somebody reads what you've written and it hits them literally in the chest, not because it's clever or polished, but because it's true, because it reflected back something they've been thinking, they've been feeling, or trying to figure out. And you've just said it unfiltered, directly, and with certainty. And that certainty, that's what actually makes people buy. That's what I mean when I say your message has to move someone. And sometimes what's in the way is that little voice in your head that's saying to you, will this be too much? Or will people get this? Should I say it like that? And in the process of second guessing yourself, you're basically softening your voice, you're filtering it and you're tweaking it, and then wonder why no one's converting or buying. But your messaging is what builds the trust. And that's what creates your authority. That's what sells quietly, powerfully, and consistently. If you can activate people through your messaging, that is what's going to make the difference for you. Now, again, inside my 2 signature programs, this is one of the biggest things that we work on. We strip back the performance, we cut through all of the fluff that you see in the online space. And what we do is we rebuild your voice. So it's clear, it's certain, it's commanding, without ever sounding like anyone but yourself. Because your messaging shouldn't sound like a strategy. It should sound like a woman who knows who she is, what she offers, and why her dream clients need to hear it right now. That is how you can move people. You can activate people through your messaging so that people choose to buy from you. And now let's talk about the third part, which is your presence. Now, you can have the right message and great positioning, but if your energy behind isn't anchored, people will feel it. So your audience are really intuitive and they can tell if you believe in your work or if you're still holding back. They will be able to feel it. They will be able to feel when you're trying to get something from them instead of actually leading them. And I say this with a lot of love, but you don't need to show up more. You just need to show up like her, that version of you who really trusts herself, the one who knows it's already working, and the one who leads her business, her voice, her brand with quiet certainty. That's what presence actually is. It's not about shouting or oversharing or performing. You don't need to be an extrovert. It's about that calm, clean energy that says, I know what I'm doing and I'm the one for this. And when your presence is anchored like that, you don't need, a fancy sales page. You don't need the perfect post. You are the brand, you are the offer, and you are the proof. So your presence is really, really important with supporting you in making more sales. So if your sales aren't flowing right now, before you go and build a new funnel or start another content challenge, I want you to come back to these 3 things that we've talked about today. First of all, is your positioning reflecting the iconic leader that you are? Is your messaging activating the person you're here to serve? And is your presence holding the kind of certainty that sells without pressure? Because when those 3 things are in place, you don't have to try as hard. The sales will start to come. They will start to flow. They will become more natural. You'll create create momentum and freedom at the same time, and you can build that wealth for you and for your family without burning out. And if you are ready for that, then that is exactly what we do inside my 2 signature programs, both Unstoppable and Iconic the Mastermind. So drop me a DM on socials if you want to talk about how I can support you in making more sales in your business over the next few months. Thank you for joining us on today's episode. Please don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast, and I'll see you all again next time. Thank you for tuning in to the Actually I Can Female Entrepreneur podcast with me, your host, Kayleigh Greenacre. If you are ready to build, grow, and scale your dream 6-figure or multi-6-figure business, then head to our website now for more information or connect with me on socials to see how you can create your dream business and dream life.